we're starting here. I cannot believe I totally forgot about all of that. That was my bad. That was 110% my bad. Let's see if that works. Yup. All right. All right, Bambi. Do 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 do. I'm a loser. I said I was gonna start streaming like 20 minutes. I don't know when that was, to be honest. I was like, I need to do this, and then I totally forgot because I got on a FaceTime with my mom, my mamacita. So that was my bad. I'm sorry. I deeply apologize. That was totally my bad, and I apologize. Thank you guys for hanging out. Oh wow, you guys are already here starting to talk about stuff. I'm ready to rant. Yo, what up? How's it going? How's it going? How's your life? How is the day going? Today was an amazing day, and I got to watch my siblings do COVID tests. So that's coming out in a vlog, and it is amazing. It is really, really good. So that's a thing that's happening. Oh my god, I'm so dehydrated. It was 106 degrees today, and it's so freaking hot. And all I've had is just... I had a slushie coming home, and I had food poisoning again for some reason. Like, why does my body suck so bad? I have no idea. Yeah, what up, big boy? How's it going? What up, airplane? What up, Hercules? Sorry, what up, Dr. Bowtie? What up, Yog? What up, Dr. Bowtie? Thoughts on Blue Lives Matter? We're getting right into it, aren't we? Let us begin with a nice little thing called face cam. Look at that. That right there. You got that business. And then, I don't know why I'm talking like a hick. So, my thought process on Blue Lives Matter is... What up, Cart? My thought process on Blue Lives Matter is they definitely do. I think that a big problem that everybody sees is it's an us versus them mentality. One of the major things that has sparked everything is people think that it's like a white versus black. It's definitely a white person versus a black person, and anything else has nothing to do with it. It is strictly about race. And that is definitely not true. I think it's about horrible people being mean to other people. And they could be mean to another horrible person. Like if a bully punches a bully in the face, but the bully's not actively bullying, and the one who punches the one in the face, he is the one that's at fault, right? Just because you have somebody who could potentially do something bad, that doesn't mean that they're going to. But if somebody is actively doing it, then they are in the wrong. Right, so I think that what everybody, and it is amazing. I saw somebody post, I saw one of my black friends post and say, you guys, this is not about a white versus black thing. And I was like, thank God, people are finally starting to get it. And he's a very intelligent person. And it was insane because everybody's starting to realize that it is not a black versus white, it's not a race thing. It is simply about cops not being held accountable for their actions. Like I said it in my last stream when I freaked out. If I sat around and put my knee on somebody, or if I shot them with a rubber bullet in the face, do you think I would have any repercussions from the law? 110%. If I killed you, I'm going to jail. If somebody is around me and they're looking and they are an accessory and they're not doing anything to stop me and they know me, they are going to jail. It is amazing that all 4 of those guys are in jail and they're going to be put through a trial. And I hope that justice comes from it. And it's not just like, well, you don't do that, you crazy kids. But I think that it's about everybody coming together, black, white, red, yellow, whatever, coming together and starting to fight against the common enemy, which is unaccountability for people in power. And that I don't think that just sits here and talks about cops. It has to do with judges. Why in the frick is that lady still getting off from insider trading? How is that even possible? How are all these people not getting repercussions? Why is literally anybody that's in any kind of government corruption, why are they not held to the same standards? And I hope that everything is shifting in a way that people are like, we're not going to take this anymore. Like, the French literally just started rioting, and everybody was like, dude, it's like when the French riot, they riot, like they go crazy. And they were like, they rioted over like a lunch break, and now they have like 4-hour long lunch breaks. Like, if we stand up as a people and say, this is not allowed to happen, and we are all united on this front, I think that a lot more things would begin to change. So, going back to your original question that I completely skipped over in one of my own rant, I do think that Blue Lives Matter, but I think that people who are horrible people need to get dealt with. I don't have a problem with cops. I have a problem with bad cops. I don't have a problem with cell phone workers, employees, people. I have a problem with bad cell phone workers. I don't have a problem with teachers. I have a problem with bad teachers. Like, it goes into any aspect. I don't have a problem with presidents. I have a problem with bad presidents. I have a problem with bad senators. I have a problem with bad anybody. Like, stop being horrible. Stop using literally everything for your own personal gain. Like, it's just making me so angry. Like, I just saw a post about how somebody that's in charge of the coronavirus relief package works at his dad's, or he created a company that was like some hedge fund, and they're getting a coronavirus help because he said, haha, I'm not in charge of it. This is my dad's company. And he gave his dad an IOU, and his dad is technically running the company, even though it could be his, so he doesn't have a conflict of interest, and he's giving them millions of dollars in coronavirus stuff, and they're buying junk bonds with it. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is the epitome of horribleness. Like, I don't know what is happening. And I even saw a post the other day, I think it was today, and they said that this is the steps that a civilization takes right before it collapses. So, I don't know what that means, but y'all better start storing up food, water, money, guns, ammo, if you believe in it, knives, spears, swords, shurikens, whatever it is that you are into, please, for the love of God, start stacking up. Yo, what up, Starcoin? How's it going? Like, it is very, it's just so freaking frustrating, man. Like, I don't understand how people are just letting this stuff go by. Like, that is the stuff that just blows my mind. Like, how are these guys able to elude the law? How, just because you're a senator or a governor or something like that? Like, I saw a thing the other day about, like, Nancy Pelosi and the Mitch, what's his name? The guy with, like, no chin that's, like, making everybody's lives horrible. Like, when they started in office, they were worth next to nothing. And now they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. How is that possible? I know that their salary isn't that good. How is Nancy Pelosi worth $400 million and Mitch McConnell worth like $10 million? Like, where is that money coming from? Oh, it's because of lobbyists and because of people trying to push their own agenda and saying, if we give you, $20 million, you think you maybe push this through and let us keep fracking in, Africa or Mexico, or try to protect us from some of the laws? Oh, sure, yeah. Are you kidding me? So the current list of members from Congress right now, Kelly Loeffler is worth $500 million. She's the most wealthiest member of Congress, which is cool, because I didn't realize that you could, take money from literally everybody else, and as everybody is expected to die, you're just like, I'm selling all of my stock and I'm investing in healthcare because I know that this is going to be horrible. Like, how are we letting this happen, dude? Like, Nancy Pelosi is worth $120 million. And I don't know, Mitch McConnell is worth $22 million. And I think there was somebody else. But the net worth of the 40th senator, the 40th ranked senator, is $8.6 million. And he's a Republican from Ohio. Next one up is Bill Foster, a Democrat from Illinois, and he's worth 9.3. I want to look up the average. Let's do a little bit of research here. What's the average salary of a senator? So that's weird. If you have Kelly Loeffler, who's worth $500 million, and the average salary of a senator is $174,000 per year, well, in that case, if she's worth $500 million divided by 174,000, that means she's been a senator for 2,873 years, which is crazy. This lady is old, and she looks so good for being almost 3,000 years old. She's older than literally everything. That's insane. I'm pretty sure she's older than America, right? How old's America? Was she a senator before America was even? It's 243 years old as of 2019. So 244. She's been a senator for like 8 times longer than what the United States has been around. Where in the frick are you getting that money, dude? Like, and I'll let you guys in on a tight little secret. I just found out that Trump signed something into effect that basically says if you donate over $5,000 to a presidential campaign or any kind of campaign that's political, you can just basically not say where it came from. How cool is that? So he could be getting $800 billion from Steve Jobs' ghost, and there's nothing nobody can do about it because it's freaking hidden. But, you know, I digress. God, $500 million. You have got to be kidding me. I need to be a congressman. Dude, I'm done making videos. I'm going to be a congressman. Vote for me for Congress. This is stupid. Where's our Arizona person? They're not even on this list. Which is weird. Why are they not on this list? Arizona? No, there is no Arizona. Huh. List of current members of the United States Congress by wealth. I thought you had to have like one. Oh no, wait. Maybe of a congressman? Let's see, maybe congressman. Maybe that's so much. Oh, it's still 174,000. That's cool. So, how is there only 40? I thought there was 50. I thought you needed to have every state accounted for. Where's Arizona? There's 2 Georgias. What? What the frick is this? Representative Buddy Carter from Georgia is worth $13.2 million from Georgia. And Dave Perdue, a Republican from Georgia. So, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, this stuff. But I did find out that at the Scottsdale looting, apparently Jake Paul was there. So that's really, really freaking weird. What up, Dojo? How's it going? I need to send you guys that stuff. Ooh, I keep forgetting. I need to put that right here, and I need to send out that Amazon gift card. Jake Paul was apparently at the Scottsdale Mall when that was being looted. Like, bro, you're a millionaire. Why are you in there? A, to get hurt, number one, and you don't need the money. So why are you out there? I didn't see him protesting. He was like arrested inside the actual mall, which is very, very odd. But I did see where they arrested like 6 people and they took back like $28,000 worth of merchandise. And some girl like ran out with like 40-some thousand dollars worth of like designer handbags, which makes sense. Scottsdale's a very nice place. Like the average house in Scottsdale is insane. Average house price in Scottsdale, Arizona. Average income in Scottsdale is $72,455. And cost of living in Scottsdale, There we go. So the median home cost in Scottsdale is $469,000. It's so expensive. Like everything, like all the Hollywood stuff, that's in Scottsdale, Arizona. Ow, I think I have a Rona. Oh God. So I'm confused. How are these guys getting 300, 200, $100 million with 174,000 salary? How can you do that? The only way I can think of that is that they're taking backhanded deals, which is weird because you think that they would look at and say, oh, you're a congressman, we're going to look at your bank account. Oh, you had $2 million deposited by Enron. That's not going to fly. You're fired, and also we're taking that money. So how is that a thing? Or they're doing other investments, and they were doing it beforehand. But it's weird because the lady who's worth $500 million, her husband runs the New York Stock Exchange. I'm just so confused. How in the frick do you do that? Like, what do you have? Like, what do you do? How do you even get that? What up, NorCal Julie? How's it going? I don't know, but what are your guys' thoughts? I really want to hear from you guys. Like, I ranted a lot the other day. I ranted for 2 hours. So tell me, what is your guys' thoughts on everything that's happening? What's your thoughts on Blue Lives Matter? What's your thoughts on Black Lives Matter? What's your thoughts on the current administration and how they're handling stuff? What is your thoughts on foreign administration? Like, apparently this is the biggest civil rights movement ever because there's people all over the world protesting this stuff, which is very interesting because I saw in Canada, like, somebody like beat somebody, like a cop like beat some kid or something. I was like, bro, you're Canadian. Like, that's like illegal. Like, you can't do that. You're Canadian. Like, it was like some cop and he like beat her or like shoved her down or put her in a chokehold or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's odd. How does one go about that? But I would really love to hear your guys' thoughts and if you're on the same page as me, because some people here could be like, you're an idiot. And that's fine. You're totally entitled to your opinion, but your opinion's wrong and I hate you. I'm just kidding. Thanks for the follow. Can you lick your nose? I appreciate it. Look at that. You messed that up, bro. Come on. But I'm really, really interested. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to write out everything because I think the world is going down. I'm firmly believing that we are in the end times. Like, there's locusts and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, bad things are coming. Bad, very bad things. Very, very bad things. Ew, that sounded gross. I was like, it's just so weird. Like, and it's almost like the cops don't care that they're being recorded. Like, somebody just got killed. And, like, all these cops are being recorded. Like, there was some kid who got shot in the face. He didn't die. He fractured his skull with a rubber bullet. And, like, the people were here, cops were here, medics were here. And the cops were like, bring the kid, bring the kid. And as the people were walking with the kid, the cops shot them with rubber bullets. And people are like, what are you doing? Like, I could see how some of that stuff gets violent because I'm just irritated hearing about it. And I'm like, bro, this is not good. And, like, there's just so much shady stuff going on. Like, all the unnamed like protectors or whatever they're called that work for like the prison system that are out there now, like guarding stuff, and they have no badge, they have no like identifiable covers or anything like that. But freaking major props to Colorado, because Colorado has passed like a bill or something like that. It actually holds public servants accountable to the actions that they're doing. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. I think that they should sign into effect a thing to where if you turn off your body cam, you're destroying evidence and you should be immediately fired. Blurry Vivo says, I feel like the people who are rioting and burning things down aren't supporting the movement. I didn't mean to give you a little bubbly under the water voice, but you know. I feel like they're actual terrorists. These are for the people on Twitch. I feel like the people who are rioting and burning things down aren't supporting the movement. I feel like they're actual terrorists. You are correct. The people who are doing that are opportunists, and they are just looking to make a quick buck. And I think that they're pieces of garbage. Like, I just watched a girl. She held up a Black Lives Matter, hashtag Black Lives Matter sign, and then next scene is her running out with a ton of freaking clothes. And I'm just like, dude, number one, you guys are all idiots because they can track the cell phone and see exactly where you were, and then you can get arrested. Like, they don't even need to go out and find you. They can just sit there and be like, okay, what cell phones were in this spot from 9 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock in the morning? And they say, boop, 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 boop. And they say, okay, cool. Verizon, we need this information. Here's a warrant. And AT&T, we need this information. And then, voila la la, they have your home address because they can just find out where you live. Like, you're just really dumb if you go out and do that. If you are somewhat smart, you would leave every identifiable thing at home and put a mask on your face and glasses and not take it off. And then throw all those clothes away so that way you're never seeing them again. And then go away with your stuff. But I digress. Criminals aren't always the smartest people. Also, are the riots really bad where you live? Have you seen Spec Ops Man? Like, is it somebody named Spec Ops Man? Or is it like the special ops that are involved in everything? Yes, I have. I'm on the internet all the time, and I see everything that's going on. That's why, like, I'm talking about some of this stuff, and I was like, dude, I don't even know how I know this. Like, I just read it all the time, and it's actually pretty freaking cool. Dominic said, someone the other day posted a picture of the stuff they stole on Insta, and they tagged their current home address, and the LAPD caught them. Stupid. There's a guy who is dressed in full military gear in the riots. No, I haven't seen that. He's like 6. It's like a kid. But also I have seen where poop. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, he's like 6'8" and muscular. No, I haven't seen that. Oh, yes, no. I saw like a really, really fat guy. And they were like, oh, that's not good. But other than that, I haven't seen Spec Ops Man. But yeah, dude, like, these people are just so dumb. Like, I know that I'm getting to the point of where I'm getting old, where it's not even like a matter of getting angry or a matter of getting literally anything. It's just like all the old people used to say, like, I weep for our world. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's just so frustrating to see everything that is going on. And people are somewhat united, and so, like, you just see everything evenly split. Like, here's a question for you, chat. Who are you voting for? Are you voting for Trump? Are you voting for Biden? Are you voting for whoever else is running? Because it seems like they don't have a chance to me. But tell me who is it that you're voting for? Or even if you're not voting, are you voting or are you not? And if you are voting, like, you don't have to say. You can say, I don't want to tell you. That's fine. But I think it is just it's just lose with anything that happens. I'm voting for no one because I'm not 18. Well, that's fine. Spec Ops Man. Nope. Gregory Wong. Armed man impersonating National Guard arrested in it. He was arrested. He was arrested. Arrested for LARPing. He's being held on a $50,000 bond. He's a Hong Kong actor. Oh, he's probably worth a decent amount of money. He was in like 17 movies. He renewed his contract with China 3D Digital Entertainment for another 5 years. Yeah, he can afford $50,000 bond. He can just say, see ya. He was armed? He was armed with 2 guns, including an assault rifle. Tried to pose as a member of the National Guard. He was arrested on suspicion of illegal possession of an assault weapon near a City Hall protest. Wong, who is reportedly a former member of the National Guard, was confronted after guardsmen spotted the decals. Thank you, Ivan, for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He had a night scope on his helmet. That's funny. But somebody said, who am I voting for? Yeah, you can't. Send it to me in a PM. Somebody asked, who am I voting for? I am still up in the air on that. Normally, when I do not have a good candidate to support, I just don't vote. Because then that takes away my ability to say, well, I didn't vote for that person. No, I didn't vote. I can't say anything I didn't vote for Trump or Hillary. I didn't vote in the last election. So I can't say anything. I can just say, yeah, you're handling that bad, man. Like, that's not what you should be doing. And that's it. I can't say anything else. I can't be like, well, if you voted for this person that I voted for, I feel like it just takes my whole voice out of the equation. And I feel like people get real uppity at that. Like, if you go talk to anybody that voted for Hillary and you said, well, you know, and you get talking about a politic thing and they say, well, Hillary wouldn't have done that. Well, you don't know. You don't know what this person would have done. Nobody knew that Trump was going to be obnoxiously crazy. And Hillary could have been obnoxiously crazy too. Like, you have no idea until you're actually in the situation. That's why they say hindsight's 20/20. So I tend to not vote if I do not have a good candidate and somebody says, well, you're throwing away your vote, yada, yada, yada. Well, I think if only 7 people voted in the elections, only 7, not 7,700,000, anything like that. If there was only 7 people that voted and everybody else didn't vote, I think a lot of people would probably get the idea like, oh, this is probably 2 horrible candidates and we shouldn't do that. Like, I feel like people think it's one or the other, and I hate the fact that we are a 2-party system and it's either you vote Republican or you vote Democrat. And if you try to vote independent or something like that, like, it just doesn't work because they just don't have the support. Oh, wow. Well, I didn't know that, Dom. Thank you. So, I don't know. I know that I'm 99% not going to vote for Trump unless he pulls some crazy, oh, sorry, I've been messing up. I'm fixing everything, which I highly doubt is going to happen. So that's why I'm saying I'm 99%. With Biden, I don't think I will vote for him just because, like, I don't know why we just have old people. Why do we have old people with dementia? Like, we have like 78-year-olds in nursing homes, and then we're just like, oh no, you're fine to run the country. You're good. Like, then this is what happens when you have somebody super old in anything. Like, they have old mentalities, they have old ideas, like old ideals. Like, there is just bad. Like, if you can get somebody who is old and is in between Republican and Democrat, okay, cool. Then that way you're kind of appeasing both sides. But I feel like our country is just so divided. Like, you can talk to 10 people and you get 5 people who are pro-gun and 5 people who are anti-gun. Like, that's it. Any relationship I have been in, I'm pro-gun. My partner has been anti-gun. And it's insane. Like, but we just don't talk about it. And I've always been on one side of the fence of politics, and they've been on the exact other side. Like, it's insane. So my general political views is I'm in the middle. Like, I think I'm probably, like, independent. When I grew up, I was Republican, and I was super Republican, and I was like, okay, cool. And I don't care about politics. Like, over this past, like, 6, 7, 8, 9 months is when I've really gotten, like, into politics. And so I was like, okay, here's Republicans, cool. And I'm like, okay, well, wait a second. Like, when Beto O'Rourke came out, and I was like, wait a second, I kind of agree with some of this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he lost me on the gun control part, and I was like, you're garbage. And then I had and then I was listening to Bernie Sanders. I was at the rally. Oh, you son of a gun. This dog peed in my office right behind me. Hold on, I need to go get something. BCB. This dog peed in my office. Like, it's literally just sitting here. What the heck is that? Oh! Are you kidding me? Look at this. What? Oh, now I don't know where it is. I picked it up. Ow. It's still there. I don't know why I said ow. It just made my foot wet. God bless it. Bless it, dog. Stinking animals. That's okay. Whatever. It's an old rug anyway. This is the dog. This is the dog that peed in my office. Look at them. You say sorry. Say sorry. Come on. Say sorry for interrupting your stream. I didn't mean to. And she did it when I was right in here. That's what makes it the worst. What a betrayal. Say I'm sorry. You got hair in your tongue, bro. Oh, you good? Huh? Look at your nails. You should be embarrassed. Your tongue. I had to pick her out of the bed. I had to pick her up. Give me your nose. You have hair on it. Top 10 anime betrayals. This guy. Right here. Get out of here, dog. You had to pee everywhere. Yeah, and I give you food all the time. I just gave you fries. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But anyway, so I was talking about old people and Beto O'Rourke. Like, I was like, okay, cool, I'm with it. And then I went to be Bernie Sanders press. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm so mad that it broke. I didn't want to break it, and it broke. And I'm so upset. But I had that. Oh my god, I have 2 lights here? What? Girl. Let's do something. Right here. Bam. And then right here. Bam. Bam. Does that look good? See, if I get gels for it, those would look super sick. That would look super sick. So I went to Bernie Sanders, I did that thing, and I was listening to some of his stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's one thing that I did find out. Like, if everybody would just drop all of their guard, like, I was raised Republican, and if you just drop your guard and just listen to the other person and not immediately put walls up when they say, I'm a Democrat, I'm a libertarian, I'm elitist, or whatever, like, you learn so much about somebody else, and that's just in life. Like, if you're horrible and you're racist and you're like, I'm not going to listen to black people, or I'm not going to listen to Asians, or I'm not going to listen to Kurds, or I'm not going to listen to anything, and I'm only going to associate with these people that I know that I like, and you just take down your walls and you listen to them, you'll find that you are very, very much the same. You went to school, maybe, if they're in a good place and they're not like in like a third world country, and they've experienced heartbreak, they've experienced love, they've experienced hate, they've experienced, like, everybody has been through that. Like, I don't know why everybody is so against each other. It is just so frustrating. Like, bro, shut up. Just sit down, shut up and listen, and let this dude tell you his story, or let this girl tell you this story, and see where you can find similarities. Like, I'm kind of wonky when it comes to political. My buddy's extremely libertarian. Like, my buddy is extremely libertarian. I am roughly Republican, Democrat, Independent. Um, my girlfriend is Democratic, and her parents are extremely Democratic, and my parents are extremely Republican. And you can sit there and talk to them and say, hey, so, how do you feel about gun control? And they're like, no one should have guns. And I was like, okay, I get that. But do you think that maybe it's a mental health issue and maybe it's people who aren't being heard and people who are going through a tough time and not being able to afford mental health help that's kind of contributing to it because all these guys are like bullied and what have you, and they're probably yeah, okay, that's a similarity, right? There is nobody that is a responsible gun owner that says just give guns to everybody. I don't care if you're a felon. I don't care if you're a legal immigrant. I don't care if you're a legal immigrant. I don't care who or where or whatever you are, you deserve a gun. I don't know anybody who knows that. I don't know anybody who thinks like that. I'm super pro-gun, and I am not like that. Like, that's one of the most frustrating parts about talking to someone who is anti-gun that I have found is a lot of their information is just based on ignorance and fear. Like, I get into so many fights on Imgur because people are super anti-gun and I say something about guns and they're just like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, hey, okay, well, take a step back. What about these points? Like, what do you think about this? And they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess maybe you're kind of right. Yeah. Like, what's up, Chicano? Like, that's the whole point. People kill people, not guns. Like, I have a decent amount of guns. And not once have they killed anybody. It's insane. Like, yes, they are a tool to harm. However, you don't know what that harm is. If somebody's trying to break into your house, okay, cool, you're going to harm that person that's coming in. If you're going out hunting, you're going to harm something, but you're also going to feed your family for it. Like, most people who are anti-gun do not take facts into account. And however, that can be the same can be said for both sides. Like, in a certain, like, super pro-Republican thing, like, let's say, corporate taxes. They don't take into account, like, the issue. They don't take into account, like, the statistics, I should say. They don't take into account the statistics. Like, did you know that most mass shootings are used with a pistol? Did you know that, like, I think it's like 89 or 95% of all gun-related deaths are, like, gang-related? And so people don't look at all of those things. Like, I used to have all these things memorized because I love talking about guns and just saying, like, no, dude, bad people is why guns the way that they are. Like, sure, if there was a way that you could snap and every single gun would disappear from the face of the earth, sure, I'm all for it. I get it. Like, because then you just need to move to another weapon. Like, I get it. But if you cannot do that and you're trying to impose a ton of rules and regulations onto people like me who have no interest in going out and doing a mass shooting and who have no interest in doing any of that stuff except for just having a gun, just for going out and shooting and also protecting my stuff, you're only hurting me. Like, there is a ton of people that have guns that shouldn't have guns and they get them through illegal means. Like, don't you think that if I can buy a pistol for $400 on the street, it's going to be worth $600? Like, there's been a ton of cops that have just been convicted of, like, just selling their guns to people. Like, there was a guy who used his, like, cop thing. Like, Glock has a promotion thing called, like, the Blue Shield or something like that. Or, like, the Blue Discount. And they get Glock, like, you have a $500 Glock, which is a type of pistol, and you get it for, like, $300. So if he buys it for $500, gets it, or if he buys a $500 Glock for $300 and sells it for $400, he's making a $100 profit on literally nothing. And so he just buys it bulk and bulk and bulk and bulk and bulk. Like, so it's just bad people. And I think that if we fix the healthcare in America and we give people the help that they deserve, like, I went to go see a therapist a couple times. If I didn't go down the route that I went down, it would be $100, $200. Who has $100, $200 a week to every session? Sometimes you see them 2 times a week. How many people have that? Nobody has that. And if you do need a therapist, I recommend that you look at, I think it's Open Yes, if you can go to openpathcollective.org, it basically goes anywhere from like $30 up to like $70 for a visit. And I went to like 10 different visits with this lady, and it helped me out immensely. And I want to go back to her, but I just haven't had the time. But if you go to openpathcollective.org, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. And then you guys can actually go there, type in your zip code, and see if you do need help. It's a very affordable thing. And I even talked to the lady. Like, she was like, do you have any income? And I was like, no. And she was like, okay, well, what do you think you can afford? And she's like, because normally it's like 60 bucks. And I was like, honestly, I saw online like $30, and that's kind of what inspired me to come. And she's like, okay, I can do $30. And they do this stuff just to help out people who are like low income and they actually need some help. Hey, thanks, Batismo. Thank you for advancing me to a level 7. I appreciate it. So if you go there, it is amazing, and you can find somebody. And if you don't find somebody that you like, find somebody else. It's like a network. It's like a it's kind of like an insurance network, and all of these healthcare providers or all these therapists sign up to be part of this, and they're just everywhere. Like, there's like 30, 40, 50 therapists in Phoenix that are a part of this program. And you say, hey, I found you through Open Path. Is that something that you can do? Here's kind of my things. And you can type in and say, I have a problem with PTSD. I have a problem with sexual trauma. I have a problem with anger management. I have a problem with this, with loneliness and depression. And they'll find somebody who typed out and said, hey, I'm a really good therapist for depression and sexual therapy and all this other stuff. And then they'll match you up with that person. Like, it is freaking amazing. It is amazing. Like, I love it. So Dominic said, I own guns and I'm voting for Trump. Okay, cool. I have a question for you. How do you think his responses have been starting from like the pandemic till now? I just want to hear what your thoughts are on it. If guns were banned, then murderers would just use knives. And so what? Ban knives too. It's crazy. If guns were banned, then it would only affect me. It would not affect a criminal. A criminal is going to get a gun because most of the shootings and stuff happen in gun-free zones. If everybody in America was armed, you wouldn't really break into anybody's house. If everybody was given a mandatory machine gun, you wouldn't go breaking into somebody's house because you know that person has a machine gun on the other side of the door. And you don't know where they are. You don't know where they're sitting. You don't know how many machine guns they have. Like, I just think that it's silly to say, oh, let's get rid of every single gun, because then other people are just going to get the guns and say, I'm taking all your stuff. There's nothing you can do about it. I have a gun. And then you just shoot the person if nobody else gets the message. And then you say, okay, now I'm taking your stuff unless you want to die too. Like, it's just, I think it's an insane philosophy. But that being said, the compromise, if you can snap your fingers and every gun goes away, cool. Yeah, make it happen, man. Snap your fingers, Thanos. I do hope some of you are looking up that Open Path. That thing definitely helped me out a lot. Look at this guy. This guy's in Raleigh, North Carolina, New York, Middletown, New Jersey. I wonder if these guys are actually doing, let's see what my zip code is. I wonder how many people are actually going to therapist with the whole, whatever it's called, with COVID. So this girl right here said, if you're struggling with panic/anxiety attacks, this is my specialty. Many patients who come to see me see significant reduction in intensity and frequency of panic attacks in 1 to 2 visits. I teach patients what panic attacks are and how to control their fear of the sensations in their body. I'm a warming, compassionate clinician and connect quickly and easily with my clients by helping them feel at ease with me. So like her skills and expertise, adjusting to change, life transitions, adjustment to college, adult, agoraphobia, fear of the outside, fear of big open places, anxiety, ADHD, breakups, bullying, coping mechanisms, depression, grief, health illness and medical issues, mindful eating, mindfulness-based therapy, mood disorders, panic, parenting, sleep or insomnia, stress, and teens. Treatment orientation is cognitive behavioral, CBT, DBT informed therapy. You can look up those doodahs, those abbreviations. Health and wellness-based, humanistic, mindfulness, and motivational interviewing. I need to install Zell. I had somebody ask me to install Zell. Is that good? Is that a good thing? Oh, there's my therapist. Look at her. I need to go see her again. Just to kind of give her an update on what's been going on. Because she gave me such good advice. Such good advice. But there's 53 just in my zip code alone. Like, it's insane. That was loud. So, I'm still waiting for Dominic to answer. And also, Grim Venomous Reaper. I remember that. You don't know where it exactly in the UK, but they banned guns, and now they have a high rate of knife violence. I have heard that, to where once they ban guns, you just have another type of violence. But, you know, I digress. Because it's a very hot topic, right? Like, there's just a couple hot button issues that everybody is, like, super strongly either for or against. Like, and it's very weird because everybody's just, like, so ingrained. What was the question? I said, how do you feel Trump has handled from the pandemic up until now? So, I think that's kind of my thing. That's kind of my stance for tonight is if you just sit back and listen to some of these people that you hardcore disagree with, like I challenge you, find somebody. If you're a Democrat, find a Republican and sit down and try to talk to them. Talk to 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Because one person, if a Republican was trying to talk to a Democrat and you're a Democrat, you wouldn't want one person to represent all of you and all of your beliefs, right? So talk to a couple different people and say, hey, you know, what's your stance on this? What's your stance on this? What do you think? I think that you can find that there's many things that you can change how you feel. Like, you can compromise. Like, I used to be super against... What's something that I used to be super against? Women's rights. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Unrelated question, but what has happened over the years? You used to rack in a lot of views and stuff like that, but now it slowly diminishes. Well, because I stopped doing YouTube for like a year. So I'm trying to come back. But this is kind of secondary, third, maybe. Something like that. Everything's happening. Everything's going good. Like, I'm not really that worried about it. I'm very happy where I am. Like, I have a steady group of people watching me on streaming stuff. So that's freaking amazing. Seriously, guys. I really appreciate it. Just sitting here and listening to me ramble. But God, I wish I had some gels to put on that. Maybe, can I put a shirt on this? Can that be a different color? No. Maybe if I do one. Hey. That looks kind of cool. Maybe. That kind of looks like a color. Does that look like a color? Kind of? Not really? I don't know. He said, I clipped it, don't worry. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think he has done very well. He has provided more than enough aid for New York and California for COVID-19, and he has been taking the situation very seriously with George Floyd. Okay. That's cool. Next follow-up question. How old are you? How involved in this are you? And are you, I can't remember what the third thing was, but I would like to know those things before we have a discussion, because if you're like, I'm 11, it's not really worth it getting into a discussion. But if you say, I'm 20 and above, I'll say, okay, cool. We can have a discussion, because you'll probably think more logically than a 6-year-old or 11-year-old. That water is still cold and it feels so good. God, it's so hot. It's 96 degrees outside and it's 9:46. Do you feel my pain?
I got us both the same one. I wrote my name on this, so don't eat mine.
Tight. I was going to say put your name or something on it, or put a sticker. So, Um, I don't know what 96 is. So Dominic said he already has the FBI on it, and the 4 officers are on their way to trial. Yes. I don't know about the FBI thing. To be honest, I have not heard anything about that. The 4 officers are on their way to trial. Correct. However, do you think this has nothing to do with Trump? But do you think that those guys who had the body cam footage and everything, and George Floyd was not videotaped? Do you think that there would still be an outcry among law enforcement officers, the only people who would see that footage? If somebody didn't record that, do you think that those guys would have came forward and said, hey, this isn't right? I will bet you that they wouldn't, because they held on to that stuff for like a week. And then that girl posted that clip and then it blew up. So that has nothing to do with Trump. That's just my thing. Like, I just don't like garbage people. But here's my thing about Trump with the whole COVID thing. If you think that he took it okay, and you have, I'm sure that you've seen the, also answer these questions first. How old are you? How involved in his politicalness are you? Like, do you read his stuff all the time, or do you occasionally do it? And then also, where do you get your news from? Answer those 3 things while I say this. From what I read, is a long time ago, like almost when he came into office, they said, hey, we need to make sure that this doesn't happen, because there could be a pandemic. Like, there's a lot of things that are happening. And he said, okay, cool. And then he got rid of pretty much the entire staff. He cut the CDC's budget by like 80%. And then they said, okay, cool, whatever, do that. And then we'll fast forward past everything that he did. Like, he dismantled a whole bunch of stuff. And even Obama has left like a pandemic response handbook as far as what you do. Here's the timeline. So assuming that Obama did that, and he's not just talking and blowing smoke, and Trump ignored that, and I knew about this in 17 and very involved, Fox and conservative. Okay, cool. Yes, I agree. The only reason the whole situation blew up is because someone had a clear recording. Isaiah, unrelated question, but what happened? We just got further apart, and then we decided to end it. We got divorced. But thanks for coming by the stream. So, okay, he did all of that. And then, so I knew about the pandemic in January, and I am not a government, nor am I looking at China and what it is that they're doing, nor am I talking to them. This was just me reading stuff and saying, uh-oh, we have a huge problem. And thus, I started getting food storage and candles and water and toilet paper rolls for fire starting and tents and all of that stuff. And so I knew about that in January. So supposed they knew about it before then in like November. Why did he not start going into action to stop having people from China or start slowing down travel? Why did he not do that? And why was his first instinct to say it's the Democrats, they are trying to cause a ruckus? It's something that has to do with politicalness, as opposed to, hey, this is kind of a situation and we should probably fix it. So why did it take him 2, 3, 4 months in order to even just start saying, hey, this is serious? He has gone pretty much everywhere without a mask. He has said, this will be over, it's just a hiccup, yada, 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 as the numbers were significantly climbing. And I believe that they have done research that said if he would have taken it serious at the very, very beginning, a lot of lives would have been saved, because everybody listens to him. A lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people listen to him that vote for him, and they listen to him. And if he says it's not a big deal, they're going to take it as no big deal. So why would he say that? Cool, you're the top chatter. Tight. And then why is he telling all of the governors of like New York and all that different places that needed ventilators, why did he tell them, "Hey, you need to play ball with me or I'm not going to give you the support that you need"? He was just in Wisconsin or Minnesota, the place that just had that crazy flood. He didn't even go to the place where the dam broke. He didn't go to the place that was devastated. He went somewhere else and he did like some photo op or something like that. So, assuming that you're okay with that, why was he talking to, why was he supposedly talking to Russia while he was in his bunker? Number one. Number two, why is he telling on a recorded phone call the cops and all of them to say, why is he telling them to, you need to beat them down. If you let them walk all over you, they're going to think that they can own you. You need to use an insane amount of force. Why is he not coming out and talking to protesters? Why is he not doing any of that? Why is he not signing into a bill something about holding cops accountable? Why is he not using his presidential powers to do something like that? Because, mind you, he just had an issue with Twitter and he drafted something up in literally 2 days. And he said, "You're not allowed to fact check me." You can do something for cops, bro. Like, you can do something that says, hey, guess what? You turn off a body cam, or if you're found guilty of this stuff, get out. Like, why can he not? Like, I feel like he's very picky and choosy on what it is that he decides to engage on. And then why is he putting his kids in charge of stuff? His kids are not political. His kids are his kids. That would be like, God, like, I don't know basketball. The only basketball player I can think of was Kobe Bryant. R.I.P. That's like the only one that I can think of. Like, let's say Michael Jordan. See you later, newcomer. That'd be like Michael Jordan buying the Chicago Bulls and firing the entire roster and having his sons just play. And his sons are like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like, let's say he had a full basketball team worth of kids and they ranged anywhere from 3 years old to 22 years old, 30 years old, whatever. And he said, you guys are fired. I'm going to have my kids in here. Like, that to me is just ignorance beyond all ignorance. And it's just stupid. Like, to be honest, like, there's people that are in place. Like, when I said, hey, I should run for president. I don't need to know anything pretty much about how to run a country. You surround yourself with people who know how to run a country. You say, oh, I don't know anything about economics. You have been in economics for 50 years. You probably know what you're talking about. You're on my cabinet. I don't know anything about military and war strategy. You do. I need you to come sit here with me. You know about currency, which is in economics. You know this. You know about foreign trade, foreign relations. And you can surround yourself with intelligent people and you can make educated decisions. Hey, you're a scientist. You know that we need to stop depending on fossil fuels. You come over here. Like, I don't understand. I do understand. He's using it to line his pockets. And I was very blind to that fact up until about 7 months ago, right? Like, I didn't care. Like, I thought Trump was doing a good job. And I still think that he did a decent job. He did some very stupid things, but I think that everybody does stupid things. And so I was like, okay, cool. For the most part, you're getting 70-80% of this, 60-70% of the stuff right, which is cool. Like, I get it. And stuff will bounce back and yada, yada, yada. But up until this point of this pandemic, and I saw how he was treating people and how he has, like, outbursts or what have you, like, whatever you want to call them, he has just dropped way down in my book. And to answer your question, Star, who do I think is going to win in 2020? Bro, I have no idea. I don't think there's going to be an upset. I don't think there's going to be like some crazy person out of... I don't think there's going to be a crazy person out of left field that comes in and takes it. I think if I had to vote, I would probably vote for Bernie Sanders. I don't like his stance on gun control. I don't like his stance on some things. But I figured it'd take probably more than 4 years for him to touch gun control anyway. And if he can handle the corporations and the economy, like I agreed with a lot of his stuff, like you should have some sort of tax rate. Okay, Dominic, no problem, man. I'd love to talk to you about it more. But I do want you to think on those things, man. If you haven't left yet, please think on those things and say, are you willing to put up with those? If they are true, right? Like, this is just stuff that I read. If they are true, is that stuff that you're willing to put up with from a president? Like, that's just your own personal beliefs, man. If you are, cool. If you're not, cool. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, I think if I had to vote, I would probably vote for Bernie Sanders. Like, gun to my head, hey, here's a thing. It would probably be Bernie Sanders. Because Biden is just no dice, bro. Like, no thanks. And I haven't really looked into anybody else that's running. Like, I really, really, really want to run. Presidential candidates 2020. As of April 8th, 2020, there is one current major candidate, Joe Biden. Tight. Who are the Republican candidates? Bill Weld. Yeah, see, he just got stomped, dude. Like, Trump was from Florida, Bill Weld from Massachusetts. Estimated delegate count was 1769 of Trump to 1 for Bill Weld. Contest won 32 Trump to 0 Weld. Popular vote 13,316,000 to 286,564 for Weld. Like, these people just get trounced, dude. Like, it's just so depressing. He suspended his campaign, but he can still win if people are like, no, we're going for you. Like, will he win? Doubt it. Highly doubt it. Biden is he's just old, and from what I've seen, he's really creepy around people. Like, I call him creepy Uncle Biden. Like, if you look up anything of that nature, like, it has nothing to do with him being a Republican, Democrat, I don't care what your stance is, but if you're just weird and you're, like, touching kids in that weird way, like, that, to me, no, hard pass. Vermin Supreme. Not the guy with a boot on his head. I'm probably thinking maybe like 60% Trump will win, and like 20% Biden will win, and 10% somebody random is gonna win, and 10% like Bernie will win. Like, and it's sad that you have to pick between those two people, someone who has not done an amazing job and has just it just feels like I'm on a roller coaster and I can't get off. And I'm just like, I want to get off this ride now. And they were like, haha, sorry, dude, you are stuck here. Like, that's exactly how I feel, because I can't do anything. I cannot do anything about it. I cannot say, change the presidential candidate. I cannot say, hey, don't vote for this person. Like, I hope that a lot of people are willing to listen to reason when it comes to presidential candidates. But if they're Republican, they're not even going to look at Biden, and they're just going to go back to their default of Trump. Even if they don't want to vote for him, they will vote for him. I should run. How old do you have to be? You have to be 35? I'm not 35 yet, but we can do it. Oh, it says dropped out. Oh, see, Bernie Sanders did drop out. 3 Republicans dropped out. Who's running for president in 2020? So Sanders, Gabbard, Warren. Oh, yeah, Warren Did Bloomberg ran. Klabauscher, Boot Gig, Pat. Okay, I don't know any of these people. Who are these people? You dropped out within 10 seconds of like trying to go? Ugh. Just depressing. But sometimes, like the other night, I was sitting there reading stuff, and I was just, I can't anymore. So, all of you guys watching this, if you are into this as much as I am, please, for the love of God, get off your phones every once in a while, because this stuff will consume you, and it will make you depressed, and it'll make you scared. Give yourself that social media break. Like, even all this stuff with these protests and all this stuff, like, it's very, very overwhelming. Like, just take a seat, turn off your phone for a day or two, clear your mind, do something that makes you happy, and freaking cleanse. It's so crazy. I think Tulsi Gabbard, she has a lot of similar reviews as Bernie, but she had zero chance of winning from the start. I'm just going to hope that the U.S. comes together and votes for Rubin. The U.S. needs to come together on something. Like, anytime, I've said this before, anytime a presidential candidate wins by 50%, 51%, the nation it's done. Like, nobody wins. You have a nation that is 50% divided. Like, bro, come on. But, anyway, I have been streaming for an hour, which is 50% less time than I did yesterday when I streamed for 2 hours. But that was just a rant, which was actually pretty fun, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was super great. So, I hope you guys join me maybe tomorrow. I totally forgot that I was supposed to stream today, just FYI. I was like, post it up on Instagram, and then I freaking didn't do anything about it. If you do need to talk to me, my Instagram is open. I hope you do find that Open Path Collective. I think that is a great resource if you need a therapist or just somebody to talk to. My Instagram is always open if you do need to talk. I hope that you are taking precautions to keep yourself safe as far as washing your hands and not touching your face, because I feel like there's going to be a ramp up and everything because all these protests, and there's going to be a lot of people that get this. And I wish that I was seeing people protest with masks on, but I'm not. And it's very, very scary because that's just not good. So that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys for listening to me rant again. Maybe we'll talk about American politics again tomorrow. Okay, cool. You DM me the video of the Spec Ops guy. Gracias. I'll be sure to check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate it so, so much. Boop. If you would like to donate, I also put out that little donate doodah. Any little bit helps. Goes back into the channel. But apart from that, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I might stream tomorrow. Thank you, Almac. Today's Thursday. Friday, I have a meeting in the morning. I might take a nap, and then I'll probably stream again tomorrow. But I have some stuff coming up that I don't know what I'm going to do about, and all that jazz. But once I hang up with you guys, I'm going to start editing the COVID-19 swab test video, and it is freaking amazing. But be that as it may, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. Sleep tight. Do not let the bed bugs bite. Namaste. And I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. Bink, bunk, bunk. I need to have like outro music. Bunk, chicka, bunk, chicka, bunk, chicka, bunk. Maybe I can have like the John Cena theme or something.